Okay, so today what I want to talk about is really focusing on the GPM lifestyle and what that kind of looks like, what that entails, you know, what it is that you're in the pursuit of, and hopefully, you know, what we're doing is also what is in alignment with what you would want to do with yourself in your life in the future. Now, a lot of people, when they get into a business, okay, they get into a job or something like that, they kind of have an idea of the things that they want to do in life, but they don't have a very clear vision. They don't. I mean, if I asked you what you want to do with your life, okay, give me an answer right now.
Travel.
What do you want to do with your life?
Same thing in this case.
Travel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's very not specific,
See the world. There you
and
go.
it will get you nowhere. What do you want to do with your life?
I want to have various properties, a nice car, set up my family for life, better my education once I'm financially secure,
Okay.
and then work on myself from there.
Okay. That's good. We got more to work with there. Just travel. Where?
Travel back to Europe, just go for a round backpack trip again,
Why?
because I want to see it.
Okay. Why?
So I can just meet more people and expand my vision.
And what else?
That's it so far, I guess.
Hey guys, I want you guys to all speak up really loud so everybody can hear you. Remember, you're on camera and you're being recorded.
No problem.
So I want big answers. All right, so I'm just going to challenge what you decide that you want in your life, because if you don't have an actual big vision, if you don't have, you know, something that's going to move mountains, you're not going to go very far. Yeah, you'll get by, you'll do okay, maybe you'll do a couple things, but there's nobody who's a mover and shaker in this world that doesn't have a big vision. You know what I mean? Just nobody. It's never happened. If you don't have a crystal clear idea of what you want to do with your life, and the things that you want to do, and the people you want to meet, the legacy you want to leave behind, and the things that you want to accomplish, that is a vision, okay? And the key to being a leader, and I hope that you guys are here because you want to be a leader, okay? Anybody here want to be a follower? No? Okay, good. Everybody snickered. Okay, good. That means we got a bunch of people who want to be leaders. Any on the phones, you guys want to be followers? Okay, good. So here's the key to being a leader, because last week, oh, we had somebody who wants to be, what? Somebody wanted to be a follower?
You said no.
No, okay, good. Somebody said no. Good, okay, good. Nobody wants to be a follower. But what does it take to actually be a leader? Well, can a leader be completely selfish and just go and do things all by himself? No. That's not a leader. A leader is somebody who's going to lead other people. How are you going to lead people if you don't have a direction to send them in? You need to have vision, and your vision needs to be inclusive. Does that make sense to you guys? So, why is GPM right now attracting so many people? And why do people want to get on board with this global prosperity movement?
It's a massive vision.
Because it's a massive vision. It's a vision that includes people. And it provides a vehicle for people to achieve and to build on and in the vision for what global prosperity movement is. Okay? It's a way and a means. Does that make sense to you guys? So there's structure. When you think about the vision for your own life, if you want to be a leader, you've got to say bigger things. And, you know, I just want to travel and I want to do a couple things. I'm not knocking on that. Most people understand that. Like, you're asking for this much when you could have everything. You're asking for a half of a tenth of a billionth of a percent. And you could have it all. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? You need to have a big vision, because you don't realize how much you can receive until you realize what your worth is, right? You could have anything and everything in this world that you want. You could have all the love, you could have all the joy, you could have all the peace, you could have all the prosperity, you could have all the fulfillment, all the purpose, you could have all the abundance, all the health. And it's literally available to you like that. But you're not aware of it. And I heard Udo Erasmus, who is a really great, he owns Udo's Choice Oil. He's a great speaker, you know. And, you know, I'm gonna try to say this like he did the best that I can. But what he said was that everybody wants to have the best. Okay? But you're not going to just drift into the best. The best doesn't just come to you. Okay? Sometimes it can, but not all the time. Fair? In order to have the best, you have to make deliberate choice. And that choice can only come from knowledge. So you have to seek knowledge. And in order to have that knowledge, you've got to be willing to put in the time, the energy, effort, and the sacrifice to earn it. Make sense? So if you're not seeking the best, if you don't know what the best is, how can you get it? Right? Would you rather have a Maserati or a Kia? Well, if you could afford the Maserati, you'd probably want the Maserati, right? Or a Lamborghini. Well, those are all like the best of kind of cars, right? And if you can afford that kind of car, are you going to drive around in a little Pinto?
No.
Right? You're going to drive around in a nicer car. Okay? Would you rather live in a really nice house with a pool and pot lights everywhere and beautiful decor and paintings and exotic furniture and really nice things, or would you rather live in a little shanty? Now, it takes pretty much the same amount of effort in your life to get both. Do you know what I mean? The difference is the knowledge that you have and the choices that you make, what you decide that you want. Right? Is there anything wrong with having nice stuff? No.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with having bad stuff or poor stuff? No. It has absolutely nothing to do with there's no meaning in anything other than the meaning you choose to give it. Okay? But if you choose to have a nice car, and some people say money doesn't buy happiness, that's a big fat stupid lie. Trust me, if you're driving, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay? And I'm telling you guys, I was financially struggling for the majority of my life, and then I started realizing that it's okay to make money, and when you start making money, guess what happens? Things get really nice, and you can have a whole lot more fun. I'm telling you, I promise you, life is actually way more fun with money, okay? If you guys have a seed of the brain, just like, this is just like a bad thing, get that out. That was put into your brain by people who never actually had money. So they're not the person who's qualified to tell you about what it's like to actually have money or to earn money. So you want to include that into your vision. Your vision has to be prosperous, right? I think it's actually one of our jobs. It's a very important job that everybody has, to not be broke. Okay? So help as many people make money as you can, because there's more than enough to go around. Okay? When people can't make money and they're struggling financially, guess what? There's more stress, okay? More divorce. There's more bad things going on. Life sucks if you're really struggling financially. And there's a whole lot of people that are, and it's not because they're just, in this bad place in their life. It's really because of the matrix of choices that they've made throughout their lives and the choices of other people. But ultimately, at the end of the day, every single person is responsible for themselves, right? Unless you're somebody who needs to have someone take care of you, and then, of course, sometimes there is those situations. But generally speaking, you're always responsible for yourself and your choices, right? But those people who are struggling financially don't have the knowledge that can help them get out of that struggle. So passing on knowledge, right? Now, do you guys see, I'm just trying to help you guys unbrick a couple layers towards how you can actually decide to choose and start choosing a better life and a better vision for yourself, okay? So when I was really, really broke for like 28 years of my life, or whatever, I'm 32 now, okay? And it was like a hard deal for me to even want to go on a date because it was like expensive, and I was like, oh man, it's like, not happening today. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's just go for a walk.
Let's go to the beach.
He's so romantic. Yeah, but even if it was a great walk, yeah. Then I don't know why he stole that homeless guy's change and cup. I mean, he bought me coffee with it, so it was okay. You know what I mean? So anyways, long story short, guys, I want you guys to have some structure for your vision. And when I decided to have a vision for my life and actually decided how I wanted to live my life, those things started to happen for me. And what happened was that started to empower it actually powered up my vehicle, which is Kangen, okay? Because when I didn't have a vision, I wasn't clear on what I was going for and the lifestyle that I wanted to have and the things that I wanted to do. I wasn't clear, and so when resistance came my way, it slowed me down because my vision wasn't really clear. It wasn't there. I couldn't see what I was going for, and when an obstacle came up, because I didn't really have a trajectory, my obstacles became higher than my goals, and they stopped me, okay? I had a Kangen machine for over 2 years now. I only started doing the business a year ago, or in March of last year, okay? Because back then, 2 years ago, I was just kind of happy being just a personal trainer and kind of just struggling to make that life go, okay? I kind of knew I wanted to do more things, but I wasn't crystal clear. And I'm saying the word crystal clear. I want you guys to write that word down. Crystal clear, like absolutely clear. And when it's crystal clear, it's something you have faith in. You can see it, you know what it is, it's there. It's like looking at this TV, you guys can see these guitars, you can see them, I'm hoping, crystal clear. So if you can't see your vision like this, if you don't know where you're going in your life, and it's not crystal clear, it's going to be harder for you to aim for it, okay? And when things come up and hit you and object you, it's going to be hard to overcome those obstacles. So structure for vision is important. Now let me tell you guys what happened as soon as I decided how I wanted to live my life. March of last year. I said, I'm going to stop training people full-time, okay? Because I was working like 10-hour days, running around training people all day long. It was a little nuts, okay? And I said, I'm only going to train the people that I want in the mornings, because I actually, as you know, if you've ever been a personal trainer, it's fun, you get to meet awesome people, it keeps you sharp, and it keeps you jacked. I like it, okay? I mean, it's an awesome thing, and it's really fun. I get to go outside and work with people. I'm like, come on and push. You know, it's fun. I enjoy that, for me, okay? And I want to be able to play more guitar. I want to be able to spend at least like an hour a day making music. I wasn't able to do that all the time when I was running a company, trying to be a personal trainer and train all these people. So I decided I was going to do that, and I wanted to have more instruments, okay? I wanted to spend my afternoons with the people that I like to spend them with, and I want to do a few Kangen meetings a week, okay? And then just be able to build this business up over the next year or two, until I'm just, you know, making about $100,000 a month, okay? So I said last year exactly how I want to live my life at this point right now. And I also said I wanted to have a new car. 1 year later, I've fulfilled that goal, okay? I took that step because I was clear, I knew what I was aiming for. It didn't happen all exactly the way I kind of wanted, but then I sat there and I realized, I mean, there's a couple things that I thought were going to be in that are out, but it's better now that they're out than they were in, okay? Like a couple negative people in my life, a couple, you know, friendships I had to, you know, send down the road, and, you know, a couple things came into my life that I didn't think were going to be there, that they're just like even better than what I thought. So your vision is always going to be specific and clear, but open yourself up to a little bit of interpretation, because there are going to be some things that, let's just say, God knows a little bit better than you. All right? So you might have a really good idea, and a couple things weren't really exactly the thing, because in your journey of getting towards your vision, you're going to learn new things, and you're going to have new ideas, and new clarity, and new insights, and new people that you're going to meet, and new information. You're going to know of more things to make better choices. You'll have experience. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? But I'm pretty happy to say that I'm definitely on track to making the kind of income that I wanted to make. Okay? I got a car. I only train people in the morning. I make like way more money than I did last year. I have the time freedom. I can go anywhere now, buy the things that I want, do the things that I want to do, and I'm not worried, and I haven't had a financial worry since the beginning of this year. Like, not even a little. Which is pretty neat. Right? But I had to write that down. And so, when I think about how I want you guys to experience what this is like, okay? When you actually achieve something that you wrote down that you said you wanted to do. Now, I'm not at $100,000 a month yet. But yeah, I mean, that was actually my plan for within I'm giving myself like 2 years to get there, okay? And at this rate that my team's growing, I can see that easily happening. But it's not about the money, it's about the things I've got, other things. I'm not going to get into the specific exact details of exactly what I wrote down, but I'm going to give you guys the tools that you can use to give yourself specific, measurable, achievable, smarter goals. This is a Jordan Belfort thing. It was specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time frame, and then he had an E&R. But you know what? Awesome, on video. I'm just freelancing this stuff, man. You know, it is what it is. If I'm 90%, it's better than 70. Okay, so anyways, but this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so think about this. I've attained what I wrote down I wanted to within the time that I said I was going to. It was specific, it was measurable, it was attainable, it was timely, it was realistic. Okay, and I did that. So now, am I really empowered in believing what's going to happen in the next year or two? Absolutely. I did what I said I was going to do within 1 year. I'm on track. I'm on time. Okay? And I'm having the experiences that I wanted to have as well. The feelings that I wanted to have. And that's a really important thing to know, that before you have something that is physical, you need to have something emotional and on a feeling basis, because you're not a human being, you're a feeling being. So you need to think and manifest on the way that you want to feel. What's that going to feel like when you have those things that you want? What's that relationship going to feel like, right? What's that feeling of health going to be like? What's that feeling of accomplishment going to be like? Those are really important things that you need to focus on and manifest, because I want to help you guys develop very crystal clear visions for your life. Saying you want to travel it's kind of like saying I like France. Like, okay, cool, right? But you need to have bigger. You need to focus about, like, what kind of car do you want to drive, right? I wrote down in the future I might have a blue Lamborghini. Okay? Why? Just because I want to, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? So if I want to have a blue Lamborghini, I want to have it before 2015 or 2016. Sorry, I want to have it within 2 years. All right? Blue Lamborghini by 2016. What's it going to feel like? Amazing, okay? It's going to be really, really cool to drive. Of course, it's going to be a write-off, right? Because it's a business expense. Put a little Kangen on the little Kangen 9.5.
Sexy bar.
Actually, I should get it in a bluish purple. 9.5. But anyways, what I want you guys to do, I want you to write down the steps that you need to take to be very clear on your vision. Because this is absolutely the core. This is your why. This is what you're going to manifest. This is what you want in your life. Okay? And this is also going to be something that's inclusive. Okay? So, if I got into some of the other things that I want to have, I'm going to be doing what I'm doing here, but for tens of thousands of people. Okay? I want to have rooms and coliseums and everything else filled with people. I want to be a great coach. I want to help as many people live a more healthy, happy, productive, life of my, the abundant life, which is love, peace, joy, purpose, and fulfillment. I want to help every single person find their God-given gifts and missions in life and absolutely get out there and move forward with purpose and have peace in their lives, right? And going out there and spreading, health and, through all the world, okay? And the right kind of knowledge, okay? Knowledge of right living and all that kind of stuff. So for me, my vision is very, very big. It's very inclusive and includes everybody, okay? And so that's what you guys want to do, and that's your legacy. So your vision has to start with feeling, okay? Talk about the things and be selfish in what the things that you actually want to have. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm using the word selfish because sometimes people think, well, maybe I want to just do, build churches, or just want to do this. Yeah, but get serious. How many kids do you want to have? Okay? What kind of car do you want to drive? Where do you want to live? What kind of places do you want to go to? What kind of things do you want to see? Include that. That's not selfish, but it is selfish because it's about you. It's the things that you want to personally experience. And then you got to focus on the relationships you want to have. Okay? How do you want that love of your life relationship to be? How are you going to manifest it? Who's this person going to be? Okay? What kind of features, qualities, things that they're going to do, skills that they're going to have, how you guys are going to spend your time together. Believe me, a relationship is absolutely crucial. It's not essential in life. You can get by without one, but if you haven't manifested an amazing relationship in your life, you should write that down. You should think about that. That should definitely be, it's a big, you're talking about inviting a partner. It's going to be 50-50 with you into your life. You know, two people becoming one. You should include that in your vision. It's very important, okay? I've got that all written down on a piece of paper, okay? And, you know, this is given to me this idea of writing down exactly the person and the things and the features and you know, skills and the talents and whatever, and how you want to spend your time together, what it's going to look like in a relationship, because, and you've got to make that compatible with your life vision, right? It's very important. A lot of people forget that whole thing. I'm saying inclusive vision. If you say, I want to help 1 million people, but you don't say, I want to get married, if you want to get married, you kind of screwed up. You forgot about this really huge thing that you're going to be spending a lot of your time with, okay? You should think about that. And if the person that you're with is doing everything that's the opposite of your vision, then you're out of integrity, right? It's not going to work. Don't fight, right? Partnership is two people working in union together towards a common purpose. That's a really good one, okay? If you're going this way, I'm going this way, it's not compatible, right? It's going to lead you to strife, stuff like that, right? It takes more than just love to make a relationship work. It takes compatibility. Opposites do not attract. They're just interested in each other because they're so different. Okay? You guys understand that? Anybody tried dating their opposite? Done it a couple times. Okay, that does not work. All right, and so sometimes people say opposites attract. No, you're fooling yourself. I'm gonna go play hockey. Well, I'm gonna go plant gardens. I'm gonna go over here and go canoeing. Oh, I'm gonna go watch the movie. You know, come on, it's like retarded. Don't do that. So, you know, you got to be very specific. And believe me, do you guys believe? Do you guys get it? Is including a vision of the partner that you want to attract in your life, is that important? Mm-hmm. Absolutely crucial. Or plan on being alone, and if that's your vision too, God bless you. I'm not going to judge anybody. Some people are really, they just like to be alone. So if that's you, it's just the way it is. I'm okay with that. I've been alone for one time. It's okay. You don't always have to have a partner. You know, some people, they're not into that stuff. You know, and there are people like that. So don't feel bad if you happen to be one of those types of people. But anyways, moving forward, so now you've got structure. So you're starting with the things that you want to do, the places you want to meet or go, the people you want to meet, the things you want to accomplish. Talk about your business, how far you want to go, right? How many people do you want to help? What do you want to give to? What do you want to contribute to? Okay? And where you're at with like real estate and, you know, people you want to provide for, bang on. You want to do that kind of stuff. I want to buy my dad a farm. I said I was going to, so I'm gonna work for that. When I was younger, I was 18 years old. I had him co-sign for a cell phone for me. That wasn't a smart move of him to do. I forgot about it. I totally forgot about this cell phone, and the bill kept racking up, and I didn't even know about it. And honestly, I think I must have thought I was prepaid, or I don't know what happened. Sorry, Dad. And you know. His credit was good, and he was taking out this loan. He started this computer recycling company, and he was going to take this big loan out for this, you know, forklift that they needed, and you know, there was like this huge $150,000 job that he had to get done, and he was just going to take this thing out. And the day before he got approved with this loan for this forklift, my cell phone bill went to collections. Cost him like $100,000, so he was choked. We had this little deal. I got to give him like $20 every other week for the rest of my life.
The rest of your life.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, yeah. Poor guy. Parents out there, don't co-sign for those kids unless you really trust them. So anyways, you know, that's part of my goal. And, you know, there's a little bit of making amends or something like that. Or just, you know, whatever it is. But you want to have that giving back, that, you know, the contributions, okay? And then, you know, when it talks about the legacy, okay, you really want to think about the impression that you want to leave upon the people behind you. Not behind you, but that you're leaving behind when you go, okay? What message did you send? What did you do? What are people going to say about you? You know, at your funeral. Okay? Are people going to remember you? It's a big question. Are they going to be like, wow, man, there's like 1,000 people going to show up? Right? Or like maybe 10. They'll have a couple beer stories. You know what I mean? So you get like a very short window of time in this life, which is a very short life, to do something with what you got. So make it important, right? Don't waste words and idle chatter. You know, make everything that you do meaningful, impactful, and moving, right? So that is life vision. Any questions right now about any ideas or things that you might want help with? No?
Keep flowing, man.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going. I love just like the list of questions you're kind of asking yourself to make that crystal clear.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know, because I want you guys to take and I want to spend, like I said, I want to spend a lot of time with your vision, because again, the tools to build your Kangen or network marketing business, direct sales business, or your personal business, it's all very basic stuff. It's not hard. It's state management. And state management is just being how you are. When I get up, I wake up with purpose and I'm driven, okay? And because I've set a very high goal, a very big vision, it's an inclusive vision, I know that when I'm talking to people, I'm reaching my hand out to them and I'm saying, come with me. I've got a great place that we can all go, all right? So if they say no, that's okay. But because they can pick up my enthusiasm and my passion, okay, and they can pick it up that I'm sharp, I know what I'm doing, I'm confident, people don't generally say no because they get interested in what you're doing, okay? Now, you're not always going to be able to win every single person over to what your vision is, okay? Some people are so not on board with any type of vision for their life that they're just not going to go. But what you can do is move forward in what you're doing and you'll inspire people. And people who've been sitting and deciding and not too sure, when they see that you figured out a couple of the little keys to the universe about your vision, all right, then if you're doing it right, people will catch on to the flow of your life, right? People are always watching you, right? And, you know, you can see people who, does anybody see the people who post all the same stupid things on Facebook all the same time? It's just like for years they've been posting nothing but dumb stuff. Okay? Now, then all of a sudden, and you see other people who've been posting stuff and you can actually see a progression in their life. How many people do you see on Facebook where you actually see progression in their lives?
5%.
5%, maybe, right? Everybody else looks like they're doing exactly the same thing. I've been on Facebook since like 2007. Okay, it's now 2014, and we're halfway through the year. We're actually further than halfway through the year now. Okay, it's August, and I've seen so many people doing the exact same thing. But all of a sudden, when I start changing the things that I'm posting and post things of value and add meaning, and people see, you know, oh, Shane started this Kangen thing, oh, he's doing another network marketing thing. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, posting big fat pictures of checks, and then all of a sudden they see me buy new cars and traveling and going places and doing stuff, and they're like, oh, he's doing that Kangen thing. Oh, now they're like, oh, yeah, he's doing that Kangen thing. And all of a sudden they're like, I really want to do that Kangen thing. When's he going to talk to me? You see, and I've had that because I've had people who watched me for a year and then they came on board after watching me for a year. I guess they just wanted to know that I was in it to win it. Okay? And the other thing that you really want to focus on is your vision. And write this word down. Consistency. Consistency, persistency, determination, strength. You got to be merciless in your drive. Do you know what I mean? And that's not, merciless in a bad way. I want you to take that word and the energy behind it. It's not, I'm talking like beat a dog. You know, I'm talking like be merciless as in you're not going to quit. You're just hard driven to succeed. Right? Forever. You have to have that mentality. You're not stopping. Right? And you can start actually achieving those things. But it has to start with inside. Do you believe that you're worthy of achieving it? When you put it out there, okay, I'm going to tell you guys a little story how I can relate. I used to watch videos and movies like The Secret and Celestine Prophecies. I read the book and pardon my throat. And then I all these self-development things, and I would hear all these people start talking about. Oh, thank you. I need some water. Can't get 9.5. All right. So I would always hear people start talking about all of this stuff, about how they can manifest all this stuff, and all you got to do is believe, and you can achieve it. Honestly, in my head, part of my French, I just thought
bullshit.
Bull. You know what I mean? I didn't actually believe. I did not believe. Anybody can relate? You're like, yeah, it sounds great, but you're and even though all of those people, they would always say the same thing. You're not any different than me. If I can do it, so can you. And in my head, I was like, bull. You know what I mean? I didn't actually believe it. Okay? I thought it was great. It gave me lots of stuff to imagine, but I totally thought it was crap. All right? I didn't believe it. And now here I am, but something changed, okay? Something changed. It was like the boiling the frog effect. Boiling the frog effect is if you just throw a frog in hot water, he's going to jump up, okay? But if you put a frog in a cold water and then you slowly heat the water up until it's hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, the frog will stay right in there until he boils to death. But somehow we got to make that a good thing. Because I just stayed in, okay? I just stayed in. And I just kept surrounding myself with all of these people. And eventually what happened was the people and the positive people, and this also has to be included in your vision, the people that you want to have, the friends you want to have, okay? Those people got to be powerful people. You got to surround yourself with positive, powerful-minded people. Because guess what happened? I surrounded myself with Balazs Kardas. I started listening. I kept listening to self-development stuff. I kept listening to, Alex Arnold. I kept listening to, Jordan Belfort. I kept listening to Robert Kiyosaki. I kept listening to, Grant Cardone and all these other, people who've achieved it. And you know what? At a certain point, it was enough. And it just changed the structure of those damaged brain cells in my head that were telling me that I wasn't that I was different and that they were different than me. And all of a sudden I realized I got the same skill sets, I got the same brain, I got the same 2 eyes, I got the same arms. If they can achieve this kind of stuff, and they're just saying that you really got to commit to your beliefs, you really got to commit to your vision, right? You got to surround yourself with the positive. All that kind of stuff started to actually make sense because all of a sudden I started seeing the fruits, right? But for a long, long time, I was the most inwardly resistant person I could ever have imagined, right? But it really is the just surrounding of positive people. I wouldn't say I was always the most positive person, right? I was a very self-doubtful person. But I surrounded myself with positive people. But one thing I always made sure to do was to never bring other people down, right? I always talk a lot of positive stuff, but inwardly I was very self-doubtful, okay? And I think that when you realize that that's a total conflict of your inner character, you're out of integrity within yourself, okay? Talk all this positive, you're amazing, you're awesome, I love you, man, and you can do it, and so can you. But you're thinking that you can't on things because you're thinking that you're different. Maybe you might be watching me right now and you think, wow, he's got speaking skills and he's articulate, or maybe, I'm probably not, but you know what I mean? or you're thinking he's really on the go, like I used to sit in a chair and watch other people speaking, okay, maybe 5 years ago or whatever, and I would get sweaty hands just watching somebody speak as soon as I thought about myself doing that, okay? In fact, at the very idea of standing in front of more than 5 or 6 people, my heart rate would go like 100 billion miles. It would be like, and I would get crazy anxiety, and this huge rush came up. I had this whack of adrenaline in my brain, and I couldn't think at all. Anybody ever felt that fear of stage fright? okay? And I would feel this just thinking about things that I wanted to do in my life. I was so nervous, you know what I mean? And that I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it, okay? But here I am, by just immersion, right? And surrounding yourself with the right kind of people, and putting the right kind of positive media and positive input into your life, I'm actually talking to people, and I've been training people, and I can speak in front of a large room of people, and I don't have an ounce of nervousness. In fact, if anything, I've been able to rechannel that energy from fear into fuel. Okay? And that's another thing you want to include in your life vision, is you need to find out anything that you're afraid of. And you need to turn your fear into fuel. Because it's nothing more than a concept. Fear is nothing more than you're not sure what's beyond the curtain. And so you're possibly could be what? Hurt, injured, maimed, attacked, ridiculed, rejected, outcast. It's not going to happen. Right? It's just a self-made thing based on something stupid that might have happened to you when you were a kid. Maybe somebody called you a beanpole, or somebody like made fun of you, and there's a big bunch of kids. We've all had that experience. So everybody makes fun of you for 5 seconds, or maybe 5 minutes, or maybe you all get a face wash or something. Everybody rams a bunch of snow in your face. I don't know. Maybe I got bullied. But whatever it is, something could happen. That might have happened that would cause you to have a fear. So, for example, what I started doing, okay, I realized the things that I was afraid of in life, things that would hold me back, because I still wanted to do things, and when I didn't have a whole lot of vision with my life, I just became a yes man, and ultimately what led me into being in Kangan. Okay, I started saying yes to every good opportunity. As long as it wasn't a bad opportunity, I started saying yes. Got into roofing. Overcame a fear of heights. Okay, so I used to wake up in the middle of the night. I felt like I fell on my bed, you know, because in my dream I was walking towards the cliff and I fell, and as soon as I hit the ground, it felt like I dropped 4 feet in the air off my bed, and I would freak out, and I would stand on the top of a stairwell and I'd get butterflies in my stomach. So I got a job as a roofer. I had a really big fear of people and talking to people, and so I got into sales and acting, theater, right? Become a fear confrontationalist and realize that the fear isn't actually real. Okay? And now, what I'm telling you guys this stuff is these are little steps that you can take towards actually achieving your vision. Because if your vision doesn't scare you, you didn't make it big enough. You didn't think big enough. Okay? If your vision doesn't intimidate you, you are a small character right now compared to the giant character you're going to be when you achieve and start realizing your vision. Right? Like all of us right now, if your vision is big enough, even right now where I'm at, I'm a small little infant. I'm just a seedling. Okay? My vision is very, very big. I'm still laying the roots. I still haven't even sprouted yet. Okay? I still haven't broken the watermark. I haven't gotten into the sunlight. Okay? So some people have started to see that, and then you really start, like Blage, I think, is cracked out of the ground, and he started to reach out towards his vision. You know what I mean? I realize that I'm still just that little seedling, right? So if you're thinking really, really big of the vision, you need to start thinking about the things personally that you can do that can help you overcome all of the fears and limit self-doubts and limitations that you've got, right? Because is it easy to just go up and talk to somebody about Kangen water? Not generally. Not for most people, right? Because they're uncomfortable, right? It's a little bit of a challenge sometimes. Fair? Yeah. Not always. You're going to talk to your friends, you're going to talk to some family, but to just strike up a conversation and to not have any doubts and to have the skill set that you need, you got to have some confidence, right? And that confidence is going to come from having equipped yourself with the skill set where you become unconsciously competent of how you're doing it, and you just leap someone from start to a sale, right? And it's smooth, right? It wasn't smooth for me at the beginning, but I've equipped myself with those skills. So your vision, important. It's what's going to drive you. It's what you're going to wake up and move towards. Leave room for God is what I say, okay? Because your plan is going to be great, but what the universe has got for you is might even be even better. Okay, so because like I said, I'm actually in a better place now, a year after I made my vision, than I thought I was going to be, and some things that I thought were going to be in aren't, but better things have come in to replace them. Okay, because that's just the law of attraction, right? Because again, you don't know everything at the time when you make your vision. As you get there, you'll know more things. You have more understanding and more choices. Okay, you'll know of better things. So leave room for interpretation. Okay, and realize that you need to be flexible, and your vision should continue to grow. Okay, as you learn more things. So your vision is always going to be changing, but make it big. And then you got to have those little skills. And by the way, when I do my trainings, I talk about something and then I go back a little bit, just because I want to reinforce it. Because if you guys are hearing something just once, and I don't repeat what I'm saying 2 or 3 times during this time, you're only going to retain like 20%. So I want to try to help you guys retain as much, and actually, you know, get you committed to writing that vision out and to being strong with it. Okay? And then, so now I'm just going to ask you, what was that next thing I started talking about? What should you start doing to build yourself up to your vision? Write it down, that's good. Fear confrontation, right? Turn your fear into fuel. And that is a really important thing, okay? And how you're going to do that is you need to really take a deep look inside and say, where am I really uncomfortable? And if you want to continue to be uncomfortable, keep being a chicken. But guess what? All of the greatest people at some point in their life were chicken too. Right? You just got to immerse yourself and put on the challenges and take on the challenges that are going to make it, put you in the hot spot. You know, you want to learn how to get yourself comfortable with being uncomfortable. And it's okay. If I can do it, you guys can do. Okay? I used to be so nervous. I remember going up to a girl in high school, tried telling her I like her. It was grade 12. You know, it was like the first times I'd ever done this with a girl. I was so socially inept. You know, I go up to her, I was totally nervous, and I was like, you know, I was like looking around, she's there, my heart's like, you know, I'm like walking up, I was going to tell her I liked her, and then I puked in my mouth. I walked away. I don't think she ever knew. You know what I mean? Yeah, she probably, she just thought I made a face at her or something, you know what I mean? Can't remember what her name was, but if I can be that nervous, in grade, I think it was 11 or 12. I mean, honestly, I think I tried to wipe most of the memory out of that, but now that I'm older, it's funny.
You should go talk to her now.
I don't even remember you know, I think I might actually remember her name, but
I've got something to say.
I'm not going to say it. No. But if I can be that guy, and at 25, if I can be the most socially inept person, and then, you know, decide by 26, 27, I think it was 27, to start learning some proper skills and becoming a fear confrontationalist, and at 32, I can run 2 successful businesses, live the exact lifestyle that I want, travel the places that I want to go and do all the things that I want to do, and have all the fun that I want to have, and meet all the people that I want to meet. You guys can too, right? I can be that guy, but the difference is that old Shane didn't have no clarity, no vision, and he was full of fear. I'm like a fear confrontationalist now. My fear is fuel, okay? And you have a vision. That's it, right? So I wanted to make sure we got 9 minutes left, okay? What I want to do now is kind of just ask you guys what you want me to tell you about how I can put pointers on your vision, or what skill sets you feel you need to develop more, so we can work with that. Jenny?
Skill sets. Definitely want to be on stage more.
Okay.
I want to be speaking more. So I looked into a few groups like Toastmasters. I was thinking of even joining the National Speakers Association. What would you suggest?
I would suggest modeling after great speakers, and I would suggest doing Toastmasters would be fun, but also coming here and speaking in front of the group and learning how to freestyle. Okay, because Toastmasters, a lot of it's scripted stuff, and you gotta, and you gotta come up with a speech. Whereas, if you start listening, one of the best things that I learned from being a personal trainer and giving people really powerful and strong advice and insightful information about their health, oh my gosh, I've come up with some of the best little 2-minute speeches, 3-4 minute speeches for someone. It was just totally motivating and life-changing. It was just coming out of the flow. How I tapped into being able to do that is really the intent of love and helping, okay? Really have the intent from my heart to change your life in a better direction, okay? So if you love people more than they love themselves, which is very easy to do, okay? Then you can easily influence that person and speak to their highest self, okay? And when you're connecting on that energy and on that frequency with somebody, you don't really have to get caught up in what you're going to say, because what you're going to say is usually going to be awesome. Okay, so that's the energy you want to focus on, where you're coming from when you're giving someone a meaningful speech. Okay, best stuff comes from the heart. What about you?
I just got here, so maybe just educating more, learning more about what's
Learning
going
more?
on.
Okay. About the product or the business or the company? Everything. Great. That's an excellent way to start. What about yourself?
But what I want to learn?
Well,
skill
any
sets?
thing, yes. Any particular skill set that you want to develop, or like Jamie had a great. He was talking about public speaking, so I gave him some insight on
I
something.
have a
for
lot
that.
of skills, Jay. I don't really have much skills. I'm kidding. I don't know. I guess motivation. No, I have a lot of motivation. I guess, you know what? Clarifying my goals. Like, I think about this on a daily, my vision, and I'm trying to clarify it more and more every day. And it's still unclear, but I have an idea, but the steps towards getting to that point still needs to be determined. I think.
Okay. Did you gain some insight from today on those
Yeah,
steps?
I'm totally speaking your language. It's definitely the track where I'm thinking about. I'm just, I guess, trying to clarify exactly the steps to get there. Or also,
Well, the steps to get there is what's important, because that's going to come into your life. The steps to get to your vision. What you have to have is the vision. So
I have the vision, but I'm so focused on the steps.
that you know what? If you're looking at the steps, when you go up the stairs, do you go upstairs like this? Or do you look at the top of the stairs?
The top of the stairs.
What happens if you look at at the stairs as you're going up? You end up getting tripped up on your feet, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Generally.
You go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look at the direction. So when you're going up the stairs, sometimes you might go like this. It's not a bad idea to pay attention to your feet, but as you're going upstairs, most people aren't like, they're looking to where they want to go. It's okay to look at your feet, but keep your eyes on the prize. Okay? So stop it. Don't get caught up in the feet. Get caught up in the vision, right? And then you reverse engineer it. So you're trying right now. You're trying to build something without the plan. You need to have the plan, and then you deconstruct, and you start from the foundation. Okay? So when I decided that I wanted to make more money, buy a car, only train people in the morning, spend time with the people I want in the afternoon, and make a specific income figure. I knew what I had to do. I knew how many people I needed to get in my business. I knew the people that I wanted to attract into my business, the caliber of people who would be movers and shakers, rather than people who just, get all caught up in an idea and then they just let it die. So I don't want to attract those types of people. I wanted to attract people who want real success in life. So I had to want it really, really bad. What happens is when you want something bad, when you're on this vibration, you're going to attract your people like you. Okay? If you're a go-getter, you're going to find go-getters. A go-getter isn't going to go find, or let's call it a go-giver, isn't going to find a bunch of takers. You know what I mean? Because it's the law of attraction. You will attract with the energy that you're putting out. So focus on the vision, right? And then decide on the steps to take it there, right? This is a great vehicle that can help you achieve that, whatever your vision might be. Dave?
For me, we really addressed it today nicely, is helping make my vision crystal clear.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of known what I want, but it hasn't been as specific. Like what I want my wife to look like and be. I kind of have an idea, right? Or exactly where I want to be. Like I know I want to make lots of money, I know I want to make a difference in people's lives, I know I want to travel, but it's not specific enough, right? So for me it's a lot, and I've written a lot of these down, is ask myself those questions to get specific, right? So really if there's anything that I want is more of those questions.
Great.
Right, to help me become more specific.
Okay, so on every single aspect, what I want you to do is break down your emotional state. And this is the key, guys, I'm telling you right now. Focus on these 5 words. Love, joy, peace, purpose, fulfillment. Good luck having a life that's happy without peace. Good luck having an awesome life with no love. Good luck having a fulfilling life with no fulfillment. Okay? You'll never feel like you've done anything if you've got no purpose. You got nothing to go for. And joy is the ultimate feeling you should have every moment of your life. Okay? So that is the abundant life. 5 things. And you deserve every single one to the most. Alright? So everything that you're doing should be building you towards that. Alright? And that should be at the core of every single one of your decisions. How much love, joy, peace, purpose, fulfillment is going to get me to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. Is this included in this? Right? Is this included in having kids? Of course. Right? Is it included in the relationship that I want? The things that I want to do? The places I want to go? Right? The contributions I want to make. Absolutely. It's very, very crucial. So you have that. That's the fundamental core that you should be putting out there. And so that's the fundamental emotion you should be receiving. Alright? So remember, be very, very clear and specific on those things. Ask yourself those questions on every little particular bracket in your vision. What I mean by bracket is, or column, or whatever, so when you write out your vision, places I want to go, people I want to meet, things I want to do, okay? Legacy I want to leave, contributions I want to make, business I want to build, income I want to have, all that kind of stuff. So break it all down, right? And write it down and put it together. You?
Yeah, for me, it's really about just, as David was saying earlier, about really achieving that crystal clear vision and really asking the right questions. And well, definitely what you said today has hit that. And so what I really want to ask is, it's about talking to people, just about the Kangen water. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you do approach someone, just a stranger or whatnot, that is sort of what my fear would be.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So what you're asking for is approaching people. I'm going to give you guys a really, really quick breakdown. Okay? I talked about this last time. Your vibration is everything. Okay? If you're talking to somebody who talks fast, you should talk fast. If you talk to somebody who talks slow, you should talk slower. If you talk to somebody who talks quiet, you don't talk loud to them. If you talk to somebody who talks loud, talk loud. Match and pace. Okay, so mirror that person, and what you're doing is you're adjusting your frequency to theirs. Okay, this is how someone's going to relate to you a lot more, because they're feeling your energy, you're feeling them. When you have a great conversation with somebody, if you break it down, why did that conversation was so great? Because you guys were talking the same, you're acting the same, you guys were talking the same pace, the same tempo and everything. Okay, or very similar. So you guys were like, you know what I mean? Like you're vibing on the same page. If you're like this and he's like this, you're not on the same page. You need to be like this, or you need to be like this. You need to synchronize with this person. That's how you're always going to have a great connection with anybody, is if you just go to their level. Okay? Don't expect someone to just come up to yours. You go to their level, okay, when you're talking, when you're building rapport, okay? And even similarly match their style of body language, okay? And this is how that person's going to feel like you understand them and that they understand you. Okay? Help people feel like you understand them by showing them that you genuinely have listened to them and understand them. You want people, it feels good when you're telling someone something and they feel what you're telling them, because they're genuinely, compassionately feeling what you're talking. If they're telling them a sad story, it says, oh man, I get you. You know, wow, sounds like it's a really hard time, a really tough thing to go through. If you're telling somebody about something that's very exciting, like, awesome, man, that's freaking sweet, good for you, you know, and they're on your page, right? And then all of a sudden, because they related, that they understand to what you're going through, you feel more connected to that person. You like that person more. True?
Yep.
And that is communication 101. Relate to people. Let them know that you understand them by zipping your mouth and opening your ears. Right? Let people talk. And that's what's going to help them like you more. So build rapport. And the fundamental is learn how to sync with somebody. And then if you want to get them up to your tempo, if they're a little, maybe if they talk a little slower, you talk slow with them, but then start talking a little bit faster, and you can actually get them talking a little bit faster, and all of a sudden you guys can talk at your speed, okay? So you want to build people up just like that, all right? Is that going to help?
Yeah, definitely.
Something to use? Okay.
For me, a topic that was really helpful for me was the fear of confronting your fears. I've said it before on the Facebook group page there. I'm just like, I get really nervous when I'm talking to people. You know, in high school I didn't really like go out to many parties. I always kind of look for an excuse to kind of just chill at home. And I was just always that kind of like socially awkward dude. So it really hit home when you said, you know, you just have to kind of buck up and face your fears. And that's something that is just really something important to me that I have to work on, because I think everything else aligns okay. I know that I'm a hard worker, and if I put my mind to it, then I can achieve great things. So I just need to really focus on facing those fears and, you know, doing just that.
Awesome. Good. And what tips or advice, or did you get enough?
Pardon me?
What tips or advice, you know, to face those fears? I guess for facing the fears, I'm just going to, you know, reinforce that what I said earlier is you really want to take that honest look at yourself and be like, why? Why am I scared of talking to people? A lot of guys are like scared to talk to girls. A lot of girls, sometimes they're nervous about talking to guys. There's this total, you know, fear of being rejected, shutdown thing, right? Socially, it plays out in so many catastrophic ways. Catastrophic, because people fail to communicate. You could have looked the wife of your future in the eyes 100 times. You know, she walked right past you, but you didn't even see. I bet you there's 100 times this really, really beautiful girl was walking down the street, and you're like, I should say something to her. She's really gorgeous. And you just walked on by. You didn't even give her a compliment. You know? A girl, same thing. Well, he's a really nice guy, but I'm going to say something. I'm going to say anything. You know what I mean? Like, we're just totally disconnected. You know what I mean? Compliment people. That's a really good way to start overcoming fears of talking to people. Is try it. Guys and girls, just compliment someone. I always compliment people. I'm like, hey man, those are my shoes. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I like your dress. Hey, I like your hair. Hey, that's a really cool beard. I like your socks. Be genuine. But trust me, you give somebody a gift of a compliment, since they hardly ever get compliments, it's amazing, but it'll do. You build rapport with people really fast. Okay, so compliment people. That's a really good way to start overcoming any sort of social fears. Okay, be a go-giver. It'll help a lot. How?
For me, it's more about resonance and vibration as well. I mean, I've been here a while, and for a long time we've talked we've talked about vision, we've talked about all that, and I'm finally at this point after like months and months where I finally have everything crystal clear in terms of what I want. It's all listed down, it's written down. And finally last week we finally went through fear competition too, where I finally had my first phone blitz.
Yeah.
And that was like, you just do it, right? It's all about those 20 seconds of courage that you just speak up. Is that what you said? It's all about those 20 seconds of courage that you just got to go through, and as soon as you get that, like that's the part that's stopping you, right? As soon as you push through that thing that's stopping you, now you've got it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's still about vibration and resonance. Like I don't have that yet.
Okay, what you need to do to get your vibration and resonance, breathe.
That's probably the biggest thing right there.
Okay, I can always pick this up because even in the way that you talk,
Yeah.
it comes from your throat and not from here.
Yeah.
I don't hear you from here, I hear you from here.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're not breathing. Okay, now does that make sense to anybody? By the way, nothing wrong with breathing. Breathe. It's amazing what a couple deep breaths will do when you just calm. The quickest way to get yourself centered, breathe in really deep in your nose and breathe out. Give yourself a few nice deep breaths. Before a phone call, because when you're breathing, you're not thinking about anything nervous. You're just thinking about breathing. It just shuts all the noise in your brain down, okay? And then what you need to do is start speaking from your diaphragm, not your throat, okay? If somebody's near you and they're listening to you, if you're speaking from your diaphragm, they're going to feel that in their chest, okay? If somebody's speaking from the throat, it's a little bit different, right? It doesn't sound as impactful. You know, your voice isn't as loud. You know, it's a little bit. I mean, yeah, my voice is blown. I was gone for a weekend in the Squamish Music Festival.
Weird.
Weird how my voice died there. But you see what I'm saying? So you want to speak from your diaphragm. That means just let the air force its way up, but it's coming from here, right? It's coming from here. Make sense? And that's going to help you harmonize yourself, because you just have a few self-doubts, right, that you got to overcome. And that's what I had, but the immersion thing is good. You got to constantly be immersing yourself. You'll have a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, anybody on the phone have anything before we go? We got 1 minute left. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, how's it going? That's right. Good. Thank you, guys. How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
Awesome.
What's the question, bro?
You know, I just kind of want to know, like you've been able to overcome a lot of the things, like, as we've been hearing you confess more and more to us about how, you know, lack for a better word, how abundant your life was not. It used to be not abundant when you were, before all this stuff happened. What was the sort of, like, line in the sand moment for you? Like, what happened when you decided, and what was it like for you when you decided, well, yeah, I don't know, what would you say to that for people who are looking at that point?
It's a great question. That's a great question. I'm going to give you the straight up answer. I was motivated by love. You know, I fell in love with somebody. Now, unfortunately for this situation, this person I fell in love with, I was in the friend zone, and there was no getting out of there. But I just, yeah, you know, like I said, sometimes things go and sometimes other things come in. Okay. But I decided I liked this one girl so much that I wanted to readjust my entire life so I could spend more time with her and do all the things that I wanted with her and build a life with this person. And in her book, I was just a nice friend. So I just did a lot of nice things for her. And so, you know, some things when I realized that that was just the way it was always going to be, it'll never be anything different. So things had to change. But, you know, what I've realized is I needed that drive to really motivate me. Now, for some people, it'll be the love of God. For some people, it'll be the love of their family. For some people, it'll be the love of, you know, someone that they really care for, whatever it could be. But nothing on this earth will move you like the power of love. Period. I could say anger, I could say fear, but that creates resistance. Love blasts doors open like dynamite. And anybody who thinks differently doesn't know what love is. That's it.
Nice one.
Awesome, guys.
Boom.
Power.
Thanks.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye.